Are we good? Okay. So can you just start off by introducing yourself?
My name is Mendez. I play guitar in Yellowcard.
Wonderful. So how are you enjoying the work so far?
I'm good. It's the weather today is fantastic compared to the rest of the tour. So
Right.
we all woke up and looked out and walked outside and we're like, yes, so nice today. Tour's been great. We have so many of our friends out here, and it's just like a big kind of punk rock summer camp. So it's been great. Shows have been great. Crowds have been awesome. It's been awesome.
You guys are definitely veterans of the Warped Tour. How has it been, different for you this year? Especially coming back, from the hiatus, all the new energy.
I think you just touched on it. There's new energy, really, that kind of wasn't there. The last time we did was '07. We did about a half the tour, and we were just kind of going through a tough time then. Our bass player ended up leaving the band a few months later, so there was that kind of vibe around, which obviously is not necessarily a positive thing. So this time, everyone's on the same page. We're revitalized. We've got a new record coming out. Totally no drama at all. Everyone's just totally raring to go, and the vibe is just so good, and we love doing this tour. The Warped Tour has always treated us great, and we couldn't be happier to be here. So.
And you were saying how it is like a summer camp. Has there been any bands in particular this year that you've gotten to befriend and develop some good relationships with?
Yeah, I mean, basically, we some of our best friends in the world are a band called All Time Low, who we basically have toured so much with in the last year and a half. So when we found out they were going to be doing the tour, and we were as well, we were beside ourselves. We pretty much just hang out with them every single day. And there's some new bands that we've gotten to know as well. A band from the UK called You Me at Six that we have some mutual friends of, and super rad to have gotten to meet them. There's a new band that myself and Josh, a new bass player, super huge fans of called Memphis Mayfire. We both kind of like a lot of heavier stuff, and we really, really enjoyed that band. We've kind of hung out with them a little bit as well. So yeah.
And we were talking about new energy. I mean, you guys put out When You're Through Thinking Say Yes last year. Then you did the acoustic version of it just a couple months later. And now you've got Southern Air, a whole new album coming out in the middle of August. I mean, that's a lot of new music to be putting out in such a short period of time. How does it feel to be able to give that much back?
In the middle of last year, it didn't feel very good. I mean, obviously, I'm glad that everything has happened the way it has. We couldn't be happier to be able to give the supporters of our band, obviously, as this much new music. So now we're at a point where Southern Air is completely done, just waiting for it to come out. And it just feels really awesome to look back at the last year and a half and just see that we have really 3 full lengths in the last year and a half, and it's pretty nuts if you think about it. And I think that's kind of partially why we feel so just re-energized with the band. We're so behind all the music. The response to everything that everyone's heard has been great. So we're really looking forward to people hearing the new record, and we love the fact that the one last year in the acoustic version obviously was so well supported by the fans. So.
It's an amazing album, When You're Through Thinking Say Yes. So, the acoustic album, is there an acoustic track on this upcoming?
There is an acoustic track on this record.
So I gotta say, what's the draw to acoustics for you guys?
I don't know. I think the band is always I think a lot of it is having Sean with the violin, and there's always string arrangements for a lot of the songs on the record. So that having that vibe right there always makes the acoustic side of things a lot easier and easier to pull off. Kind of, no matter what, that Sean can always write some awesome stuff for himself and for the viola and cello, and really kind of round out the acoustic sound, and it makes sense, So we did actually a full band acoustic tour in 2008. It was actually the last tour we did before we went on our hiatus, and fans have been asking for that forever, and we were so stoked to be able to do it. When we first were doing our record Paper Walls in 2007, we did 2 nights at the Troubadour in LA. We did 1 electric, 1 acoustic, so we've kind of always done that kind of stuff. We go to radio stations and visit, we play a couple songs acoustic, and it just kind of came up to do When You're Through Thinking acoustic, and so I recorded and produced and mixed the whole thing along with Ryan, our singer, and really stoked at how it turned out. And for this record, we're like, we haven't had an actual proper acoustic song in a while, so let's write an acoustic song. And I actually had an acoustic part that I'd had for multiple years actually, and I was like, oh, let's turn this into a song for the record. So we did, and it was super, super awesome. We're really, really happy with the song.
Awesome. So a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming, yeah. I mean, because even on Paper Walls, we did, there's a song that has some acoustic. It kind of, the song called Shadows and Regrets, which kind of started off a little bit acoustic, but it still ends up being full band. And Dear Bobby was pretty acoustic, a little bit of piano and stuff too, but this one is like pretty stripped down. I mean, there's like basically no percussion. There's some strings and some really cool other elements, but it's definitely a full-blown acoustic song for sure.
Awesome. Definitely looking forward to that one. And when you're writing, the electric songs, is there in the back of your mind, are you thinking, oh, this would sound cool acoustic, you know, because you guys have done so much acoustic?
Yeah, I gotta say no. I don't think we do. I think a lot of times we write electric songs on acoustic first, because a lot of times we'll just pick up the acoustic guitars and just kind of jam, and oh, this is a cool riff, like this is a cool, you know, chorus or whatever, and then we always know that we're just gonna turn it into an electric song. So because of that, it's kind of always sounds good stripped down anyways, because it's kind of where it came from in the first place, if that makes sense. But I don't know that we really sit there and go, oh, this would sound really cool acoustic, so let's do it this way. Like we never really do that. But I think just because we always a lot of times start on acoustic guitar, it kind of lends itself to working out when we do it that way.
Kind of organically.
Yeah.
And also, you know, speaking of organically, when you did all this new music in a year and a half essentially, so was it just the natural like need or desire to want to go back in the studio as soon as you finished? Like,
it's funny you should ask that, because at the end of last year, I actually had no desire whatsoever to go into the studio. When we toured 30 countries, we were on the road for like 200 something days with 150 shows. The last thing I wanted to do was go and do anything else other than just sit and still for a little while. But we kind of thought, you know what? Like, we're coming back from the hiatus. This year has been really great. The response to everything has been so great. So let's just not lose out on that momentum. Let's just keep it going. We went home for Christmas for basically 10 days and just went right back in. And at first I was like, man, I'm really not looking forward to this, just because we were everywhere. We were also so exhausted, but we knew that we had an opportunity to kind of build on the momentum that we had just kind of created over this last year. So once we got in the room, Ryan and I kind of sat down, we started writing stuff, and it all just came out. All of a sudden, 2 and a half weeks later, we pretty much had the whole record written. And I was like, wow, where did that come from? Because I was not really in that mindset beforehand. But now I think we're probably the most proud of it than anything we've ever done.
Definitely. And, you know, how's it going to feel when you finish work? Or, I mean, you're going to be exhausted, or you're going to be sort of excited because the album's coming, right?
I'm excited for the record to come out. Unfortunately, it's coming out right after the Warped Tour ends. It'd be rad if it came out earlier than that. But we've been playing one of the new songs on Warped, and it's been going really well. So I think I'll be glad for the tour to be over, in the sense that we'll be tired. But at the same time, it's going to be really sad, because we have so many of our best friends out here, and like seeing them every single day, all night, every night. That's going to be obviously sad to be over.
Definitely. You know, every summer. That's the single, right?
Always summer.
Always summer.
Yeah, no, of course. No,
Sorry.
No problem.
Always summer. You have another single coming out at the end of the month, too?
Yep.
Are we going to get videos for these?
There will be.
Have some great videos.
Yeah, there will be. I want to say it comes out on the 31st, I think, is the official. I'm not totally sure, but I'm sure. I think that's what it is. And then there is a video that we shot. There was a couple of days off from the tour in LA, and we shot it then. And the video, I don't know if the video comes out on the same day or not. I really don't know. I don't think it comes out before. Either way, it'll be within a week or so of the record coming out.
So, you know, you have some playful videos, you have some more serious videos. Which way is this one going to lean?
You know, it's interesting. It's kind of not too much of either. It's not really like super playful, but it's definitely not super serious. The concept of it is pretty cool, and you'll get it right away when you watch it. And it's definitely like positive and like very kind of hopeful and fun. But Hang You Up video is like really kind of playful and funny. I wouldn't say it's like that, but it's also not super serious either. It's just kind of like positive and kind of fun.
Great. And the album is Southern Air.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, what's that mean to you? That's it.
Well, it's interesting being one of the members of the band that actually is not from the South. I always enjoy going there and visiting there, and I've spent a lot of really fun times in Florida hanging out with Ryan and his family. But obviously, since I'm not from there, you know, I listen to the song, and so many of the lyrics in the song, which really just kind of talk about like where he's from and everything about the South. To me, it actually totally applies to California, where I grew up, because so much of the vibe that he's singing about it in a positive and kind of a longing vibe, and I have that exact same feeling for where I grew up in California. So I really think that even if you're not from the South, you'll still be able to relate to the song.
Definitely. I think that's the exact same thing with When You're Through Thinking Say Yes. That was such a incredibly relatable album. It was insane.
Cool.
It's great. And, you know, we are from popculturemandness.com, so we are always immersed in pop culture. But how about you? Is there anything you can't get enough of these days?
Funny enough is, I guess, my guilty pleasure, but I'm not even going to say it's guilty pleasure. I love girl pop. I do. Ryan and I both are huge girl pop fans. I love like all the Katy Perry and Britney and Kesha and Avril and Kelly Clarkson and all those. We can't get enough of that stuff. So, yeah.
Could you see some Kelly Clarkson in the cars?
You know what you can do is you can catch me literally in a Britney Spears music video.
Really? Which one?
I Want to Go. Familiar with the song? Okay, it was her third. I don't remember how many singles she had on the last record, but I want to say it's the second or third single off the last record, and the video has myself and my wife both in it in the music video.
Well, we're gonna have to go check that
Go
out.
online and check it out. I'm in it multiple times. So
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Great. Well, the album comes out right after Warped is done. So what's in store for after Warped with the album?
Record comes out on the 14th. We'll actually be in Italy that day. We're going to Europe right after Warped for about two and a half weeks. We're doing some festivals over there. It's always like the European summer festivals. And then after that, we come back home for like a week and a half we have off. And then in September, we're doing a bunch of international stuff. We're doing Japan, Singapore, Australia. We're doing some other international stuff that I can't talk about yet, but we will be announcing soon. There will be a group of people that will be really, really happy when we announce it. Some of our most passionate fans in the whole world. And then after that, we're going to do a States tour in the fall, which we also will be announcing like the official lineup and everything, I think, when Warped is done.
You'll be some pretty busy guys.
Definitely busy guys. As soon as the record comes out, we're just going.
Wonderful. And then just one final tease for the album. If it were the soundtrack to a movie, what sort of a movie would it be?
The album as a whole? I think it would be... I can't think of a specific movie, but I would say the vibe of the movie would be hopeful, and it would be strong and sharp and energetic. That's the type of movie.
Great. Well, can't imagine where you're going to be a year and a half from now either, right?
Yeah, a year from now.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today. Do you have a final message for your fans and the visitors of Mendez?
Well, to our fans, obviously, we just appreciate the support. I mean, we wouldn't be able to keep doing what we're doing without you guys. So please continue to do what you're doing and pick up the new record on August 14th.